everyone. Today I have a really special guest, Carly Zerker. She's one of my good friends and a Pinterest guru. So we're going to talk to you today about optimizing your Pinterest boards, what the purpose of Pinterest boards is, and how you can get more views and ultimately more sales by optimizing your Pinterest boards. Okay, at the end of this video, you will have a ton of actionable steps that you can take today to optimize your Pinterest boards and get ultimately a lot more views and sales from Pinterest. So let's get started. So Carly, I know that you've had as many as 1.6 million monthly viewers on Pinterest. Tell us a little bit about you and what you do and how you got started.
My name's Carly. I own C's Invitations and Toucan. So with C's Invitations, I do very similar to what you do, wedding invitations. And then for Toucan, I help creative entrepreneurs grow their business with Pinterest and Etsy and other resources. So I started using Pinterest in 2016, I think, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't have a business account. I just pinned a couple things, and one of them went viral. And so I did get really lucky, but after that, I just did everything I could to learn everything about Pinterest so I could do it again because it skyrocketed my business. So yeah.
So what drew you to Pinterest in the first place? What made you want to try out this platform?
I don't know. I just liked Pinterest, and I knew that I planned my wedding on Pinterest, so I thought if I shared my invitations on there that maybe somebody would want to buy them, and they did.
And they kept buying them.
And a lot of people did. Yeah.
So how many of your sales do you have a percentage that come from Pinterest? Do you know that?
I think about half. It's really kind of hard for me to have a good statistic on that because I have a form they fill out, and a lot of them I'll put Pinterest. I did get my biggest order ever on Pinterest.
Nice.
Yeah, quantity and amount, so it was great. But it's hard to do that because a lot of people will put on the form they found me on Etsy, but I they found me on Pinterest and then bought on Etsy, so it's kind of
that makes sense. And when are the best days to pin? I'm sorry, we're going off script.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Okay.
Yes. I think statistically Sundays are better because people are not really doing anything. And I see a lot, I think I pin a little extra on Sundays.
Okay.
But every day is the day you
That's
should be
interesting.
pinning. Yeah.
And that's kind of the opposite of my Instagram strategy. I typically don't post on weekends and see an uptick where I feel your Instagram is catching up on the weekend. So that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So how many boards do you have? Because we are focusing on boards today.
Okay. I think I have 80 or 90 boards. I should have looked. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. That's so many.
Yeah.
I think most of us watching probably think that is a ton. And that's more. I think I have a lot. And I think I have 37 or something like that. So why do you have so many?
It's just more ways to get found. So the title of your board is used for SEO. So if somebody's searching wedding invitations, you should have a board for wedding invitations. And then I also have boards for the different colors of wedding invitations because it's just easier to get found.
Yeah.
So I just have boards for everything, basically.
Just everything.
And I continue to add more boards. So I have fall weddings. I just do anything that somebody might be searching. And obviously if I have pins for it, anything that's relevant to my business. So I'm not pinning couches and random things like that. But design wedding invitations, I have just any board I could think of.
Just so many.
Yeah. And I just constantly add more.
So even if you feel they might be repetitive, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, no. Because somebody might search burgundy wedding invitation and somebody else might search marsala wedding invitation. And while it's the same thing, basically, not the same thing. They're going to find the same invitation on those boards.
Right.
So even though it is repetitive, it's really not because they're searching for different things.
So having something on the right board is going to help it get found by more people.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are the best ways to optimize your boards?
Just keywords. So using words that people are actually searching for. So wedding invitations, if you're selling wedding invitations, I'm using that example a lot, but whatever it is that you're selling, that should be in your title for sure. And then it should also
we shouldn't do a cutesy title.
Yeah, I always use the example if you're doing if you have a recipe board, make it dinner recipes for two if that's what it is that you're doing, not yummy in my tummy. Because nobody's searching for yummy in my tummy. They're searching. Like, but a lot of people do that. They do like cutesy boards.
I used to do that.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
And I think on my personal one, like I still do because who cares?
Right.
But from like a business standpoint, if you're wanting to get found, it's important to use words that people are actually looking for and not yummy in my tummy.
I think I had one that was like books we love, and it was like bouquets, but no one is searching for books. That's not. I can't even say that. That's not even a real word. Okay, so you put it in the title, and then there's also like descriptions and other things that you do.
Yeah, so there's a description that you can do when you make the board, or you can go back and do it later. And I kind of reevaluate these sometimes, but you just describe the board. I think a lot of people feel compelled to write a little novel about what is in there, but really you should just be putting what is in there with keywords. So, this board contains burgundy wedding invitations for like fall weddings or something like that, instead of like, people kind of make it like a personality thing. Like, I like to do this for, but nobody's really reading board descriptions. It's more, again,
it's just being scanned by the search engine. Okay.
And so if you have like burgundy wedding invitation and as the title, and then in the description, and then like on the pin, it's burgundy wedding invitation, and then the picture is like burgundy wedding invitation, that's going to be a lot more likely to get found than one that doesn't have all three. Right. If that makes sense.
And then those secondary keywords like burgundy wedding invitations is probably correlated with like fall weddings or even like, navy wedding or like popular or gold foil or something like that. So probably using those in the description, even though you don't necessarily put those in the title.
Right. Well. Or you could say like, wedding invitations for burgundy weddings in the fall. I mean, just using sentences to make with a lot of keywords.
Right. Because the search engines understand the context, and it's something you can use for SEO on your website as well. Like they understand that burgundy is a fall color, and weddings and invitations and things go together. So the more if you put that in real sentence structure and try to use some of those secondary keywords, that should help.
Yeah, and then even more so, getting a little more technical, but like if you have burgundy wedding invitation also on your website, like when it clicks through, or on Etsy when it clicks through, like that's just all of the layers. So that when somebody searches burgundy wedding invitation, you'll be so much more likely to show up. Right. Because it's on your website, on Pinterest 4 times. It matches the picture. And then even if you have it written on the picture, Etsy or Pinterest can actually read like images.
Like if you have Squarespace, whenever you upload an image, the title that you put in there, if someone pins that photo, whether it's you or someone else, that title comes in as the pin description. So you might as well, also use those same keywords instead of just putting like, image 3520 or whatever. Change that so that when someone pins it, you're getting, it's helping the search engine find it even more. Okay, so back on the number boards, is there such a thing as too many boards?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I hope not, because I have so many. I think it's just more ways to get found. And so like why limit ourselves by only having like one wedding invitation board or, whatever that you're selling, if it's earrings or pottery. I mean, like, why just have one of those when you could have 10 or 15 to help like better describe your product.
And how often are you creating new boards at this point? Do you feel like you're finished?
I always think that I am, and then I did my like Pinterest challenge, and I did it also, and I like kind of struggled to think of 5 more boards, because I do have so many. I think I'm tapped out at this point.
Okay.
But every once in a while, I'll think of something to add. So
if you have a new invitation style.
Yeah, if I do something new, that's true.
New trends,
I will. But I'm good for a while, for sure.
So on that note, do you have any ideas for coming up with new boards? I know, okay, so if you're watching this, Carly has a free Pinterest challenge. It's 5 days. You can sign up for it on our website. I will link it below for you. It's got really actionable steps. I saw like a 25,000 bump in the week after I did the challenge. So just letting you know, it's awesome. It's free. You can join it at any time. So I'll link it for you below. One of the tasks, spoiler alert, is to create 5 new boards. So do you have any ideas for everyone watching of how to come up with new board ideas?
I would say just look at your products and describe them.
Yeah.
Like write down words that you would use to describe them. So if it's whatever your product is, if you want to segment those into colors or like times of year or what they use them for, even like if it's not invitations or stationery, if you're selling a product that could be gifted, you know, like gifts for him or for, I don't know, people search for that. Christmas gift ideas. And I think with that, it's also fun because you can include other people's products or you can just pin your own. I usually just have people kind of like write down describing words and then also look at your stats and see what people are using, what words they're using to find you, and then like run with that. So if you're only getting found searching gifts for him, like run with that and do more of it.
Yeah, and I think you could also ask other people to describe your work. I think that's something that I do sometimes when I'm looking for branding tips, or I'm like, how would you describe my business? How would you describe this photo? So if you're running out of words, like you might say burgundy and someone else might say marsala or wine. Yeah. So that'll give you good ideas for that. And you always tell me to use sections. This is something that Carly gets mad at me for. What are sections? I think some people probably don't even know they exist or what to do with them.
It's like a relatively new thing on Pinterest. It's probably been around for a couple of years, but it's not been around forever. So sections just further categorize things. So if I have wedding invitation, like a board, I then have it broken into other sections. And that might be like, for me, it's pocket invitations, glitter invitations, laser cut invitations, vellum, you know, I just segment all of those. And so if it was, you know, burgundy wedding invitations, I can really do the same thing and say like burgundy pocket wedding invitations, burgundy glitter invitations, etc. So it just is another way to get found. It's adding more of those keywords and levels so that when people are searching again, if it's showing up in the title, the board title, the description, the section, the pin, like you're going to be a lot more likely to get found than those who are just pinning it to some random board.
Yeah, because those like title, description, pin description, etc., all come into the search engine in different ways and are evaluated differently. So if you have it categorized on all levels, it's going to be more helpful.
I think it also just like makes it a little bit easier for people who do come across your Pinterest. I personally like only use Pinterest to search for something, and I don't really go to people's boards and stuff. But I took a poll recently, and everybody was like, "No, I do that." So I'm confused by that.
I don't do that either.
Because I told you, and I was like, "People don't do that." And then like 80% of the people that voted on my Instagram
that's interesting.
said that, and I was like, "I don't think I told you that," because I was like, "I just lied to you." So it makes it easier if somebody, like especially a potential client or customer, if they're looking for something specific, it just like helps them sort through it a lot faster instead of trying to like just scroll through a bunch of stuff.
If they just want to see like the clear ones, they can click that section. Okay. And I think it's important, like we love to pin a ton, but it's important to only pin where they are relevant. So don't make up a board that's glitter invitations and put a bunch of stuff that's not glitter invitations.
Because that will like affect your SEO. Like
negatively.
Right.
SEO is about evaluating who has the answers to people's questions. So if you don't have the answer, they're not going to stay on your feed longer. They're not going to be clicking on stuff. And so the search engine is going to know that
this isn't right.
It's the same reason that like clickbait has to also answer the question of the clickbait. It can't just be like, you know, Betty White is dead. This is what we clicked on last night. It's not true, everyone. And then the article was about something totally different because Betty White has not actually died at this point as of today. Hopefully not by the time we post this video either. So anyway, post relevant pins to the relevant boards and sections. And
then also when people click through, it should be relevant. So like I always link to that direct invitation because if somebody's looking at that invitation, they want to find that on the other end. I don't make them like scan my website.
Right. It's not like a photo on a page by itself or whatever. Okay. So I think we've got a lot of really helpful tips. I think everyone is going to go home and reevaluate their Pinterest board, stay home and reevaluate their Pinterest boards. If you want some very direct actionable steps in your inbox every day, I definitely recommend the free Pump Up Your Pins challenge, which I'll link below. And then Carly does have a full ebook, which completely changed my Pinterest strategy. I was getting like 600,000 viewers, but they were not actually clicking through to my website. They weren't seeing my work. I was just posting a bunch of other people's work. And so her ebook completely changed my strategy on that. And I've grown about, I went down for a while after I changed my strategy and have grown again, like almost 250,000 followers. So I'm almost back to that point.
The reason you went down was because you changed. And so like people weren't buying what you were selling, and now like, they are, because they're looking at your products and not just like a bunch of random stuff. So you can have 1 million monthly viewers and not make any money.
Right.
And that sucks. We don't want that.
Yeah.
So
that's a waste of time.
I'm actually down as well right now. I'm at like 800, like almost 900,000. But like my conversion rate is higher. And so like that's what's more important to me than having 1 million, because I want the money.
Yeah. So in her ebook, which is part of the client bundle launching March 2nd, which is a comprehensive resource about how to find clients as a creative entrepreneur on Pinterest, but also on Etsy, Facebook, SEO, networking, branding, and Instagram, of course. Carly will talk about how to analyze all those stats and change your strategies on Pinterest based around those.
So I also have the free course. Like if you don't have an account yet, I have a free course. It's like a 5-day email course that teaches you how to set this all up, like very beginner. And then once you're done with that, you can go into the challenge, which will like just help you get to that next level.
Yeah, so as you can tell, Carly has every resource in the world on Pinterest. We haven't even mentioned all of them. So I'll link them all for you below. Give us a follow and make sure you like this video and share it with your friends who might also be interested in starting a Pinterest strategy. And give us a comment below to tell us what you're doing on Pinterest and if you found any of these tips really helpful. So thanks, Carly, for coming on today.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone, for watching.